Well, happy Saturday night live with Ken and Glenn. It is the 5th of December of this whacked year 2020, and we're looking forward to spending a few decades with you. That's what we'll do. We'll do all decades in one night tonight on the Ken and Glenn Show. Stay tuned. And now let's welcome him, the king of the mountain, the top of the hill. It's Ken Walls.
Dude, I gotta do that. We gotta reverse roles, man. I gotta do that for you. You're so much better known than I am.
I enjoy doing it, buddy.
I know you do, man. It's awesome.
And I got to share this out now.
We got Karen Griffin in the house. Hello, Karen from Washington State. Great to see you. Ernest Odell. Bruce Mills from Charlotte, North Carolina. How you doing, Bruce?
Hey, Bruce. Hello,
And
Ernest.
Curtis and Ernest and Karen. Man, I've seen so many memes about Karens. I would not want the name Karen right now. There's a lot of memes about Karens.
Am I asleep at the wheel? What are the memes? Is there a Karen that's being attacked somewhere?
There's just for some reason they've picked the name Karen to
brutalize,
to say, like, you know, when like, for example, if you walk into a store and you're not wearing a mask and some woman walks up to you and says, "You should be wearing a mask. What's wrong with you? You're out to kill the entire world." And so people are like, "Oh, there was another Karen attack today."
Oh, okay, got it.
I got attacked by a Karen, but I'm sure that Karen Griffin is so much nicer than that.
Well, maybe it gets.
She probably hates the fact that I'm bringing. Look, she said, "I'm proud to be a Karen. A little bitchy is a good thing." Love it.
That's pretty funny, Karen. Hey, Ken.
Gina. We have, man, look at this. My buddy from Amman, he's actually from Ohio, but he is representing the U.S. government on some level over in Amman, Jordan. You ever been to Jordan, dude?
No, but I had a friend named Jordan once. And I used to love watching Michael play basketball.
Wow. Okay.
Ask me how many dinners. Ask me how many dinners I've had with Michael Jordan.
Hold on. Scott Ricard is with us. Scott Ricard. So how many dinners have you had with Michael Jordan?
0. Just wanted you to know that was the stat.
Have you ever been invited to have dinner with?
That's also a big goose egg.
Really?
This score just in: Alabama 55, LSU 17.
Well, we did just happen to check on the Ohio State game score as well.
52 to what? 16?
12, I think.
52 to 12.
Something in that arena, yes. Anthony.
Hello, Donovan.
Look at this. Backstage at intermission and catching the show. Wow.
Wow, that's pretty cool. That's my buddy Anthony, who is apparently in the middle of doing a show out in the Salt Lake City area.
Oh, wow. Very cool. What show? Is it like
So he's 2 hours earlier there. So that would make sense. They're in probably intermission, 9:15, probably an 8 o'clock start.
Everybody wants to know what you're eating.
Oh, that was a kind of a trip down memory lane. That's just a good old package of saltine crackers.
Welcome to the lifestyles of the rich and famous.
Where we isolate a picture of Glenn eating crackers. Right? It's gotten that bad, Ken. It's just gotten so bad
You're
that it's
supposed,
just me and my crackers here in Atlanta, GA.
you're supposed to. You- the only thing missing is a little bit of gray poupon. I
Oh, I
see.
like that.
My British accent's terrible. Oh, look, he's in A Christmas Carol. That's freaking awesome.
Oh, nice. Who are you playing in the play, Anthony?
We have J.R. Arsenal in the house.
Is he playing Cratchit?
Donovan. Where in the world is Donovan Blanks?
Donovan is saying no Jersey Mikes. Well, you know what that means, bud. Donovan, it means that I have not yet learned where the closest Jersey Mike's is. And I don't think, unfortunately, there's one within walking distance of the car.
Listen, she said, Gina says, OMG, y'all are funny. We are on SNL. Listen, I gotta say this though about the saltine crackers.
Yes.
So there is an art to this. Now, all of the health food nuts will not like this, but I'm just gonna throw it out there. Have you ever taken saltine crackers and country crock margarine filled with all kinds of chemicals that aren't good for you, and buttered with margarine your crackers before eating them?
I have.
Boom. That's why we're
And my
brothers.
doctor monitored my blood pressure the week after and said, don't ever do that again.
Oh
I'm
my
kidding.
God.
I have, and it was tasty.
It's really good.
However, let me describe the ultimate cracker experience. And we didn't know we were going to talk about the ultimate cracker experience tonight,
No.
did we, Ken? But here we are. So the ultimate cracker experience begins with a very cold day.
Thanks for sharing, Ernest.
It needs to be cold for this to really be effective. So a cold day, doesn't matter where you are in the world, but a very cold day followed by a very hot bowl, big bowl, not a cup. Don't you do a cup, a bowl of chili. That's got, wait a minute, I'm not done yet. This is going to become almost sexual when I'm done describing it. Then there will be a layer, a generous dollop of cheese across the chili. And now here's the goal. The goal is to put more crackers in the chili than you have chili in the chili.
That's
now you're rocking. When you turn it into a chili cracker experience.
Yes.
Oh my, and it's got to be cold outside, because then you're going, wow, this is maybe even better than having a foot heater with someone massaging my toes. I've got chili and crackers and it's warm.
Wait.
And it's, someone is saying, oh, Tammy's saying, yay, and onions. I'm not an onion person.
Oh my God, dude, neither am I. That's crazy.
No, I can't do it.
I think we have very similar interests in diets. So, you know,
I think onions for me would ruin the experience. But,
oh
but I
my
appreciate
God.
that, Tammy. I appreciate that.
Ew. Donovan, ew.
Yeah, I've heard add Fritos, but I don't like it.
I'm not a fan, man. I'm sorry, Donovan.
I don't like it because then it gives it a corn feeling. You know?
Oyster crackers are very, very similar, if not the same exact thing as
oyster
saltine.
crackers are okay. That'll work.
Yeah.
In fact, if you crushed up oyster crackers, I'd never notice the difference. I'd be so happy gobbling it down.
It would. Oh, Joan. No.
Joan, you eat your onions on your own, girlfriend.
That's right.
Okay.
And Ernest may have discovered the exact reason he does not have a girlfriend.
Right.
That may be it.
Onions create a lot of loneliness.
They do.
I'm just saying.
So
no one has ever said, bring your onion breath over here right now. I want some of that.
Never.
Has that ever been said in history?
I don't think so.
I want some of your tongue if you've had onions.
That's just, no,
we don't hear that a lot.
So let's see what Joe says. Put honey butter on the crackers. That would probably be good. Honey
butter on crackers would be good.
I'm not sure I've ever had honey butter. Where would you find honey butter?
Yes, true. The chili and crackers makes us warm on cold days. Yeah, somebody's into it.
Now,
Frank
how
Nell,
would you
Frank Nell.
pronounce her name?
Frank Nell.
Frunknell.
Yeah, if it had had a K instead of a C, I would have said Frank Nell, but probably Frank Nell.
Mm.
And it's probably a woman named Jane Williams. And she just gets a kick out of watching people go, is it Frank Nell? And she's going, no, it's Jane Williams. But it's just hilarious watching you guys struggle with it.
Look, we got the inimitable Joe Ingram.
And his first card of the day is a sincere one. We seldom see that from Joe.
It's
where
rare.
He opens with just, hey, much love to you both.
That's pretty amazing, actually.
It's really beautiful. Thank you, Joe. Right back at you, brother.
This is kind of a historical moment.
It is. Could we take a moment of silence and just breathe through that? Let's take one of those Zen-like meditative moments that we discussed last night.
Yeah.
Here we go, shall we? Just breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good.
Just in oneness with Joe Ingram as we speak.
Yeah. Love that.
Frank Nell from the Philippines.
Oh, that's funny. Honey butter is good. Mix the two together. Yeah. Wow.
Real maple syrup warmed up and cinnamon crisps. Yum.
When I was a kid, we were so poor. I'm kidding. Well, I mean, I'm not. We were, but we would make toast. We would make toast, and it was a special treat if we could find oh wow, Joe just sent us a text message. Look at your phone. Julie Kessler, there's the gal that cuts my hair. Look, there she is right there.
Joe has us honoring him.
Yeah, he says commemoration.
That's funny.
There's the gal that cuts my hair. Say hi to Julie.
Wait a minute. Hey, Julie, you back up. You were talking about when you were so poor as a kid.
I'm getting back to that. I just wanted to say hi to Julie.
I'm just trying to keep you grounded, brother.
My girl. Now, Ernest, you said you don't have a girlfriend. That's why.
No, she just has decided that the Philippines is where she belongs during the time that he's eating onions.
Ah, got it. Yes, so Joan just stole it from me. That's what I was getting ready to say. We used to take toast out of the toaster and put butter on it and then put
cinnamon,
sugar and cinnamon on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they wonder why kids are walking into school going, are we starting with math? Are we starting with math?
I know.
I mean, it's crazy.
I love to put coconut milk with honey. Wow. Are you watching the game, dude?
I just took one glance up to see if there had been another score. There has not been.
It doesn't seem like it's much of a game.
No.
I mean,
no, being an Alabama fan, which I'm not anti-Alabama. I just don't have any interest, but it's curious. It's curiosity for me is what must it be like to have a team where you never wonder if you're going to win? You just wonder who you're going to slaughter.
Well, I know what that's like. I live in Ohio. Where the Buckeyes
have been slaughtering people for years.
It's been I mean they've been we typically have a pretty good team.
John just said we hadn't been blocked by Facebook for Christmas.
He said, "Good to see Facebook hasn't blocked you for Christmas." Now that's an interesting comment. I wonder, is it because I posted the Trump speech earlier? I got a message from somebody that was not happy that I support Trump. And I'm like,
you know what? Wow. Get over it for this reason. Look, Ken and I aren't even aligned politically, and yet we're brothers, right? So you can be brothers, and you don't have to agree with everything the other one does, but you have an overall respect for their humanity and for the heart that lives and expresses itself in them. So here's what I know about Ken. and myself, neither one of us lean upon our nation's leader to make the decisions we make for our own lives. You know, I have never done that. And what I would love to encourage on this show, and I think we do encourage it. No, we don't discuss politics, John.
No, we don't.
And we're not
Never.
discussing them now. But what we are talking about is just self-reliance. You know, no matter who's in office, it's still going to be up to you to get your ass up out of bed and put one foot in front of the other.
Exactly.
And design the life that you wish to live. That's really it. And who's in office is not going to determine that for you.
I said it on one. You heard me say it on one of my solo live streams. I said, I've never, in my 52 years on this planet, have I ever had a president, whether it was Barack or it was one of the Bill Clinton or what's his name back in the 70s? Jimmy had the
Jimmy Carter.
Yeah,
Mr. Carter.
Mr. Cartier. And you know, I've never had one of them call me and say, Ken, we got together this morning and we decided we're going to go ahead and pay your bills this month. So can you tell us how much to write the check for?
Right.
Never, not once, ever.
You know, when acting jobs were few and far between in my early 20s, when it hadn't really become a full-time living for me yet, I never got a call from the Carter administration or the Reagan administration, either one. So there's both sides of the equation, right?
Right.
Democrats and Republicans. And I never was phoned up and said, listen, I know the acting hasn't fully kicked in yet, but here's the thing. We're there for you. I didn't get that call from either administration, and my life was fine. So I think what happens,
you can apply for assistance, I think, though.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
you can. But I think what it does is it gives people something to get worked up about. And it gives people something to get worked up about if it's a favorite television show or whatever. It's like humans crave the experience of having something to get worked up about.
yes.
And here's the thing. If you were to get worked up about the beauty of your own life, oh my God,
Yeah.
would that ever be a well thought out decision and a
Would
well
that be
thought
cool?
out investment of time and energy?
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, by the way, we after the show, just so everybody knows, we always go back and look at our streams and see who shared this out and who did not, and we keep a running list of that. Just thought you guys should know that. And Joe Ingram's always in the shared list because he's good like that. Ernest is always sharing. Lynn Serrano's always sharing. I'm pretty sure Bruce shares a lot. I'll have to check my list.
Did you see that Joe Ingram is all worked up about me saying that people get worked up? He's all worked up about it.
Does that surprise you? Yes. Yasmin, yes. It's like the naughty and nice list. That's right. We keep a running total of, because you never know. There may be someday that we wake up and go, we should reward our number one sharer with something.
Yeah, Yasmin is hanging out in Chicago. She's been a busy young lady this week, you know.
Good.
Well,
that means she's working.
She is working. She worked in Atlanta, and she had one of those glorious experiences where you get up in one city, work in that city, take a plane to the next city, and the next morning you work in that city.
Wow.
She worked in Atlanta, followed by a flight to Chicago, and then back on another set in Chicago the next day, which is, you know, that's the way it happens when you place yourself in those arenas of eligibility.
Yeah.
You know, very seldom in life does Ryan Seacrest come knocking on your door to give you your award-winning life. That's not how it works. We place ourselves in a position to receive. By the way, our show last night was very good.
It was, but can I address the Ryan Seacrest comment?
Well,
what the hell does he have to do with it?
Well, I can shed
Ed McMahon.
I'm going to shed some light on it. I used to use Ed McMahon as my point of reference. And then I did a talk in Salt Lake City. That's specifically where this occurred for Garrett Gunderson's group. And it was a smallish gathering, probably about 120 people. And I mentioned it's not as though Ed McMahon is going to knock on your door and award you your dreamed of life.
Right.
And I looked out and there were a lot of blank stares. And I
Really?
understood what it meant. And I said, raise your hand right now if you know who Ed McMahon is. And it was, I'm serious, 120 people, and like 8 of them knew who Ed McMahon was.
What?
I'm serious. So I mean, it's obviously it's a youngish crowd. So I decided that perhaps when speaking to, millennials, that I should modernize my reference to Ryan Seacrest. And when I did, everyone went, "Oh, yeah."
What, does Ryan do that?
In my analogies, he does.
Oh. I thought maybe Publishers Clearinghouse had a new spokesperson,
not
and it was Ryan Seacrest.
No.
Oh, so it's still Ed McMahon.
Well, it can't be now. He's deceased.
Oh, I did
and
not
has
know
been
that.
for a long time.
I did not know that. I don't track.
You didn't
that.
know that Ed McMahon was deceased?
I mean, it's fairly safe to assume he would be 105 now. But
Ed McMahon died on the exact same date and year
as
Michael Jackson and Farrah Fawcett.
I knew that.
All 3 died the same day.
That's right.
Yeah.
Don't even talk about Alex Trebek.
And it's interesting. Talk about having another death that sort of eclipses your own. Not that we're here to compete, but I'm sure that Ed McMahon had assumed that the day he died would be a bigger media situation than it was. But that's why you shouldn't die the same day that Michael Jackson does.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's
because it was a. Oh, and by the way,
yeah, I think that's how the media covered it. They went, "Oh, Ed McMahon died too."
Can you believe that Michael Jackson died, though? I mean, come on.
Yeah, I know.
It's kind of the way they did it.
Yeah.
That's
but you know what? Here's what's not tragic. What's not tragic is while his life may have been brief, he left a legacy. And I know there are those who want to speak up and can't wait to comment about whatever downside there might have been. And since I wasn't there and don't know, I'm not into bringing up controversial things that I don't have details about. But what I know is this: he brought a lot of people joy, and he engaged his talents in the world. Oh, Weldon had a good day today. Thank you, Susan.
That's so
I
awesome.
reached out to Susan yesterday, buddy.
Oh, good, man.
And told her we would be praying for Weldon.
Good.
Weldon, just know that we are sending our love. I don't think he's maybe listening to us right now, but if he's with it tomorrow evening, we will be live again tomorrow night, Susan. And please know that our thoughts and prayers and healing energy and power are being directed toward Weldon right now.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, Gina did not know that.
What, that those 3 died on the same day?
Yeah.
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 I had a chance to wait on Michael Jackson when I was a waiter.
No,
So you always learn something new.
No, you did not.
Look at me, because you know when I'm telling you the truth.
Did you give him the white glove treatment?
You know when I'm telling you the truth. Now, you look at this face and you tell me right now, did I or did I not wait on Michael Jackson?
Dude, you are a professional actor. I don't know.
But I'm not being an actor right now. I'm being me. And I just told you that I waited on Michael Jackson.
Then you waited on Michael Jackson.
That's correct.
All right.
I waited on Michael Jackson, who, by the way, had a beard which was removable.
No, really? Oh my God.
He had a beard. And I walked up to the table and I said, "Good evening, Mr. Jackson." He's got his beard on. I said, "Good evening, Mr. Jackson. What can I get you to drink?" And he's like,
"How did you know?"
Yes.
Did he do that?
Something about how there was a little, no, I knew because there was a little moisture on the seat when he started to sit down, and he went, "Oh."
Oh my God. Oh Lord have mercy. Wow.
And then he said,
Oh.
he did ask me how I knew. And I said, dude, seriously? And he goes, yeah. I said, look at your gloved hand.
Oh God. Before
Oh, did you see this from Joe? Right after I made the gloved hand to actually make certain that it was Michael Jackson, he told me to beat it. That's funny, Joe Ingram. You're a funny
you
man,
could have
Joe
said
Ingram.
some people shouldn't have a beard. I think you should start with the man in the mirror.
Oh, nicely done. Nicely done.
Oh Lord.
You and I would do this show whether we had anybody watching or not. We don't care.
And we'd laugh at our own dumb joke.
Our dumbass jokes. Last night we were mentioning some dad jokes, right? Some just ridiculously stupid jokes.
They were bad. They were bad. So anyway, yeah, I think that regardless of who you support politically, why would you attack anyone that's a friend about what they support? That's crazy. I don't get that.
It presupposes that we live in this paradigm that believes everyone is supposed to agree with us.
I know,
but I don't hold that belief at all. I encourage people to form their own beliefs, but at least here's the thought: at least have a reason you believe what you believe.
Right, but even that, like, dude, I'm not. If I go, hey, Glenn, look up there, man. The sky's green. And you're like, no, it's not. It's blue. It's blue. No, bro, that's green. Can't you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see it. It's blue.
Right.
Glenn, what's wrong? Dude, what is wrong with you? Why can't you see that it's green? And that goes back to my favorite saying: a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still.
Yeah.
You can't change somebody's mind. So, like, if you want to remain friends, stop that horse crap. Stop trying to convince people that they're wrong and you're right. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's futile.
I think you said it beautifully, bud. And here's the other thing. If you were to have done that, what I would have done is reached over in such a scenario. If you had insisted that it's green and I said it was blue, at some point in that exchange, I would have reached over and I would have removed your green glasses from your face and I would have put them on and said, son of a gun, he's right.
Right. I mean, you never know, but again, and like Bruce says, I was raised on your vote is sacred and secret, and it's no one else's business. I agree. Karen says maybe
Bruce may have just hit the nail on the head more than anyone I've seen, because that's really true. Is how someone votes is their business. That's why they used to have a curtain. And you were in your own private universe when you did that. And that was because it was your business and it was your right.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. How you voted doesn't make you a dumbass.
Right.
It's just how you vote.
Right.
And any more than the fact that there are so many different religions in this world. I mean, as long as we're addressing things you're not supposed to address, let's do the show where we talk about everything you're not supposed to talk about. But, with religion, it is so arrogant. It is so spiritually arrogant to assume that whatever you believe is it, and it by definition makes everybody else wrong. I mean, I think it's already flawed when you hold the belief that everybody's wrong, because that's a whole lot of people being wrong so that you can be right.
I agree, dude.
I think Dr. Wayne Dyer said it best when he said being right is highly overrated.
Well, I mean, I like to, I mean, look, man, I think that you'd have to be a complete fool or idiot to to not enjoy being right in your opinion about a given situation. I think that we all, we all are like, we enjoy being right, but keep it to yourself. Like, don't take your
Hey,
right.
there's a new bumper sticker. Keep
Keep
your
it to
joy
your-
of being right to yourself.
There's a saying. I love this saying. The saying is, you know why they say opinions are like buttholes?
Everyone's got one, and every one of them stink.
No, it's because I don't want to hear yours.
I don't want to hear your butthole. Yeah, that's good. I like that, buddy.
Women's weight, number one, a no, or age. That's true. And Karen agrees. So how old are you, Karen?
And what do you weigh, Karen? I mean, while we're at it, we're playing, Karen.
Just teasing.
We're not asking either one of those questions seriously.
Curtis is right. I'd rather be happy than right. I mean, again, you just aren't going to, like, look, everybody watching knows I support Trump, and I've seen people that support the other side, and
I don't. So there we are. We have one that does and one that doesn't. So
yeah, but yeah, I've seen some people go off on tangents about how god awful Trump is and how, blah blah blah, and all, and it's like, okay, whatever. Like, good for you for feeling that way, and you're entitled to that opinion. I'm not going to then call you up. I'm not going to instant message you and say, are you out of your mind? How can you not see that Trump is the best thing that ever happened? Blah, blah, blah. I would never do that. I wouldn't do that and try to put you on in a defensive position of like, so did it make you feel better trying to make me feel like my choice was a bad choice? Did it make you feel better?
And the answer to that is for some it would.
Right. I know.
Tragically, but it would. It would give them a sense of supremacy.
Right.
Right.
Karen said none of your business to our question.
To both of our questions. I think that's
all right. Well, Gina, how old are you and how much do you weigh? I mean, since we're just putting it all out.
Tonight's question, by the way, you're not allowed to chime into our show until you've identified yourself, your weight, and your age. and then you can make a comment in the chat room. We're kidding. We don't care.
Oh my God.
We don't care. But it's funny. So Ken is a Trump fan, and I'm not. But you know what I am? I'm busy being a Ken Walls fan.
And I am a Glenn Morshower fan.
So there you have it. And that explains our relationship. Our relationship is not governed by the people that govern, right? So we just decide that we are brothers. And so, for example, if Ken follows Trump and I like Ken, does that mean I follow Trump? No more so than it means that if I've got a friend who's Catholic, that makes me Catholic.
Right.
I mean, haven't we heard of being able to love someone unconditionally and allow them to express life the way they express life? So Bruce says, I'm a Ken and Glenn fan. That's nice.
You want to read what Ernest wrote there?
The second largest anus in the world is a blue whale butthole. There's only one bigger than that, a politician. Thank you for sharing, Ernest.
Oh, Joan says her nephew hates Trump. But again, I see it like this, like, not, and this isn't political. Whenever you have hatred toward any person, toward any body, that comes back to you.
Oh,
and I mean a body. When I say body, a body of people, whether it's a race or a
group.
of any people. Whenever you have that kind of disdain for another person or a body of people, that is karma. It does come back to you. What you're putting out, you do get back, and it's oftentimes a reflection of what you're feeling inside about yourself.
May I piggyback on that, Ken?
No.
Okay.
Yes, of course.
Do you want to score the ball game?
It's like 75. It's like a basketball score.
Oh, this just in, breaking news. A man who was adjusting his pants has caused a gun to go off. They actually just put that on the news.
What?
It says breaking news on CBS, no less, that a man adjusting his pants has caused a gun to go off. Well, it wouldn't be the first time that's happened in history, would it? So, yeah, it's right here. And now it's breaking news. Now they're doing the story about it, but my volume is off. Yeah, so if you look it up, Google search that and see what happened. It's still up there as breaking news. Man, what a world we live in when that's what makes the news.
Yeah, I like
man adjusting his pants causes gun to go off. That's interesting. So I wanted to piggyback on what you said because, first of all, I want
that was in Atlanta, dude.
Yeah, well, I'm in Atlanta, so that's why it made the local news.
Oh, I thought you were watching the game.
I am on CBS, but it's still, they were teasing the news, and the news has now started.
Got it.
And they're opening with Donald Trump, who was here in Georgia tonight.
Yes.
So here is my thought about the, you said it comes back to you.
Yeah.
And so this is a yes, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. I would like to add that specifically, how about this, Ken? I don't think there's a waiting game on it. I don't think it's like a time bomb. I think it comes back to you the moment it leaves your tongue.
Yep.
That's what I believe about the way energy works. I believe that at a molecular level, when we go off at someone or a group, when we are throwing what I would call mental darts at another human being, that's what they are. It's like a mental dart game. So we're intending ill will.
Yeah.
The moment we intend ill will toward another, a mirror is placed up in front of us and it bounces off of the mirror and does far more harm to its sender than its recipient. And I have seen this to be true since I first started studying energy, which was when I was 14. When I started really trying to wrap my mind around metaphysics and the rules of the immutable laws that govern the movement of energy in the world we're in. And so it turns out that it's not in our best interest to harbor negative thoughts toward anyone. And especially if you're going to verbalize them, if you're going to articulate them. Now, that doesn't mean don't take a stand ever, but it means if your intention is ill will and solely because somebody disagrees with you. I mean, how dare someone would disagree with you? Oh, utter sacrilege. I mean, can't people handle being disagreed with? Disagreements are not a problem. It's difference of opinion.
I disagree.
Okay. Now,
no,
did
but
you notice
what
it set me off?
Yasmin put up the perfect little graphic. It's boomerang energy.
Mm-hmm. She's heard me speak endlessly about boomerangs.
Oh.
But those do activate immediately. And it's interesting. What it is, it's not stupidity. It's evidence of ignorance, meaning it's evidence that people don't know. And worse, they don't know what they don't know. So if what you don't know can harm you, to me, that's worth moving it out of the didn't know that column into the I now know that column.
Right.
Right. If you didn't know that something is hurting you when it is, wouldn't you want to learn that? I mean, I'll promise you, if I were to learn that eating at Chipotle is going to knock 10 years off my life, I would have eaten at Chipotle the last time today. Right.
I agree.
However,
Sorry
that
for
being
the
said,
yawn.
if I found out that mac and cheese, and I had a laugh about that with a friend this week, that if mac and cheese knocks 4 months off of your life, if that's the cumulative total is you're going to lose 4 months, that's the one food that I'm willing to depart 4 months earlier from the earth.
Really?
To keep
Mac
it
and
going.
cheese.
Absolutely. Because life minus mac and cheese sounds awful to me.
I know.
I mean, mac and cheese again on any day. How about that?
Yeah.
Mac and cheese on any day.
I agree.
It's beautiful.
Those that agree to disagree that find the solution are the successful.
Well
I
said,
agree.
Bruce.
I agree. Bruce is on a roll tonight. JR says if you're 70% liquid content affected by energy, you as the transmitter would have the most powerful effect as such.
We talked about that in your workshop when I was
Yep.
talking about our our water content at birth. And it's interesting that our water content at birth mirrors the surface of the Earth's content, water relative to land. And that although it does diminish as we get older, and it winds up reducing by about 11%, where men are 60% water and women are 55% water later in life. By now, we have reached those water weights, Ken. Then it's been proven that water is a conductor of energy. These are not theories at this point. This has been scientifically proven. So since they know that water conducts energy just like it conducts electricity, then anything that is primarily water is going to be a conductor of energy. Therefore, be kind to that which conducts.
Yeah.
Since that's what you mostly are. And so I recognize that I am water and you are water predominantly. And so my water respects your water enough to be kind to both of us and speak loving thoughts and uplifting things. But again, I think that's more thinking than a lot of people want to do. I do. I don't think this world is jam-packed with explorers.
But isn't it our, and I just want to say hi to
Were you going to say responsibility?
Look, Corey.
Hey, Corey Calvin. Hello, Pamela.
Sandy
is, I'm really impressed with Sandy, exactly like I was impressed with Pamela and still am Pamela. But, Pamela's been with us since day one and she's just a loving presence. But I've been rereading some of Sandy's, her chime-ins, and her are really, really spot on all the time. And she talks about having been in a 30-year marriage. And I really relate to a lot of what Sandy talks about. So thank you, Sandy, for your consistent contributions. Oh, my sweet friend Ashley Otteson is with us tonight.
Hey, Ashley.
How are things going up in New York, dear?
She's in New York?
Yeah, it's one of our extra milers out of the DFW area that relocated with her husband and kiddos, and they live in, I think it's upstate New York. I know it's not Manhattan. I think they maybe live an hour and a half out of the city.
I don't know why I keep yawning. My apologies. I can't stop.
At no point did I take it personally.
It's not you. It's me. Yeah. And I'm not tired.
No, because right now my sense is that this is a good show.
I think it's a great show.
It's stimulating. But I started my day today by rewatching last night's show. And I sat there just smiling, thinking, how pleasant. It was just pleasant,
Oh, this is beautiful. Joe's first time.
Well, welcome, Joe Hausman.
Yeah, welcome. Glad that you're here.
So I have a question for you, Ken, since you are the source of all internet knowledge. How does someone like Joe become aware of us? if he's never listened to us before, how do we show
I
up
don't
in
think
his life?
is that a he or a she? I don't know.
I don't know if it's with J-O, it's probably female.
It could be.
So
Joe,
how does
we don't want to get too personal with Joe, but if you care to do a gender reveal.
right? We do have a form that you fill out where you declare your gender,
Your
and
age and your weight. Yeah.
Yes, gender, age, and weight, which we ask of all of our guests.
Look,
And it's just so we know. I am a
he's
she. That's right.
bypassing the form and just going straight to the comments. So.
I am a she. Well, welcome, Joe. So I'm curious, Joe, how you find
Gina's,
out when it's Gina's first time. So,
dude, where are all of our new viewers coming from? Is it because you made an announcement in that last episode of 24 that you filmed?
Oh, many years ago when I said, now, just so you know, this heads up from Aaron Pierce. In about 10 years, I'm gonna meet a fellow named Ken Walls out of Marion, Ohio. And there's a real good chance, according to my future vibrations, that we are going to develop a talk show, and we're going to do it. Pretty much our schedule is whenever we're in the mood. And then there'll be one night a week when we guarantee we'll be on, which is Sundays. But every other day, we're just going to figure it out as we go along. No, I don't know. But I'm curious, how does Joe find us, Ken?
I don't know. Joe, tell us, how did you find us? From people sharing. Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. But hey, this is awesome. Thank you for
well, we're glad to have you. So, Joe, let us tell you about a show that we do weekly. Oftentimes, most every Friday, Ken and I will do a show, and sometimes we do them on Saturdays. But every single Sunday evening, we do a show called The Ken and Glenn Show with a guy named Scott. Oh, I heard you on Kyle Wilson's. Ah, there it is.
I spoke at Kyle Wilson's thing too, but I'm not as memorable. I understand.
Cool, Joe. Well, thank you. We do this. Yes, you are, Ken.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I looked up and they just announced that a 5-year-old was shot and killed. What is this world coming to?
Dude, turn that off. Don't you
right.
have the remote handy? Just turn
Watch
that
this. Look, see the remote? The remote even has a condom
it has a
on
prophylactic.
it. It has a condom on it.
I know. you saw my post.
That's the world we live in right there.
I was like, when I was in Charlotte, I was like, why does my remote control in this hotel room have a condom on it?
Yeah.
I thought that was bizarre.
Is this weird? Is this weird that I tried it on? Is that weird?
All right. I'm out. All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by, Glenn.
Oh, that's right. I'm supposed to remove there. All right. Now that we got that out of the way.
No, but that's new because that was the last time I came to town was the first time I saw that. So, but at least in the spirit of thoroughness, and because this place is huge, you know how huge. They've got me in the grand, they call it the grand suite. It is the nicest room in the entire hotel. So it's the same size as the other one when I was here, except that this one's on the top floor of the hotel. What? No long.
As long as it fits.
Oh, as should be as long as it fits. Yeah. Well.
Oh my gosh.
You know what's weird though? I mean, if I can just open up and tell you.
No.
Oh, it's for fun, Ken. It's just for fun. But when I tried on the remote condom, when I tried it on, it was weird. About an hour later, I had misplaced the remote, and I used my own anatomy to turn on the television.
Oh my God.
Oh, rent a sense of humor. Come on.
Rent.
Wouldn't that be great? I'll tell you what, I would like to do a couple of things. I'd like to own an air conditioning company in Phoenix. I'd like to own a brake shop in San Francisco, and I'd like to own a sense of humor shop anywhere, just anywhere. And we rent them. We rent senses of humor. You know,
Look, Corey said 1-800-DEAD. Oh, that's so funny. Hold it. I like that was so fast. That rolled off your tongue so fast. I got it. Okay. An air conditioning shop in Phoenix.
A brake shop in San
Brake shop in
Francisco.
San
And
Francisco.
a sense of humor shop anywhere.
Oh my God. That is so
Just name the town, and that'll be the perfect place to start a sense of humor shop. And we rent them for the weekend. You can get a weekend special where you can come down and blow your family away because for the first time in 30 years, you're expressing a sense of humor. And your family's going, what has happened? This is awesome.
Now look, that was a Joe joke. You are above that.
Oh, no. Come. Oh, about the remote?
The anatomy.
Who cares?
That's funny. So, we wish Weldon could listen tonight too. Wow.
Well, there's always the replay, Susan.
New form of excitement when channel surfing. Oh,
Curtis appreciated that. Thank you.
it
Curtis.
all works in a mini mall. So
I like Sandy. Sandy's my bud.
I know Sandy's awesome.
Now, where do you know Sandy from?
From the internet.
Is she one of your peeps?
Yeah, I mean, we've been friends on all forms of I think she.
But I mean, prior to
First
the
saw
show,
me-
like for a few years.
Since I think from the very beginning, she started watching me on Periscope many years ago, since 2014, probably.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
Sandy is a trooper. I can't believe she stuck with me. I mean, she stuck with me longer than all of my ex-wives combined.
Wow. Well, that's impressive. What did I say to you last night about not even in your marriage?
Funny, dude. Huh?
When I said something to you last night about what had happened in your marriage, and I said, not even in your marriage? You don't remember that moment?
No.
It was something about abusive and something abusive. And you said, I haven't ever had that kind of abuse or something. And I said, not even in your marriage? I mean, it was funny.
I don't remember.
Anyway, Joe,
Bruce is leaving. Bruce, it's still early in Charlotte. Why are you leaving?
See you at 8 tomorrow. He's announcing that he'll be joining us tomorrow night, which is thoughtful.
Be safe and healthy. That's his "C'est la vie, I'm out of here" speech.
Yeah, well, it's weird. Not everyone has a codependent leaning upon us, Ken. Not everyone needs an injection, a direct intravenous feed of the Ken and Glenn show. Believe it or not.
Oh, jeez. Oh, he has mass at 7:30. I get it. Peace out.
Oh, wow. See? And so Bruce probably appreciated my reference to Catholicism. So enjoy your mass, Bruce.
Are you speaking?
I am. Ashley, I am here in Atlanta because of The Resident. I am back filming again, and I was here a month ago doing the big season opener of the show. And this is the 5th episode of the season, and we've got huge things going on. So, yeah, I just got back to Atlanta yesterday, and I'm here for a full 2 weeks, and then we go home for the Christmas break, and I'm back here in January. Joe Ingram, love you. So, Ashley, come visit class this week, honey. We love you and we miss you.
Oh, Ken, first live that she saw me on was with probably Caleb Maddox. I think that's his name.
First live was with the kid wrote book, forgot his name.
Yeah, Caleb.
Yeah. All right.
Big thing popping.
I'm not sure what the big thing popping is referencing, but
that might be a rap tune.
Yeah, it could be a reference to the remote control.
Biggie Smalls.
Could be anything.
A little bit of Tupac.
By the way, let me give a little plug. We are returning to the airwaves on January the 12th on Fox Television. That's The Resident. This will be the beginning of our 4th season. Enjoying yet another successful run on Fox TV. which we were on Fox for 8 years with 24. So glad to be continuing that relationship. Fox has been an incredibly good place to work, as was Netflix, by the way, Ken. You know, I had a good time doing the series Bloodline over on Netflix for 2 full years. Great series.
Bloodline.
If you've never seen Bloodline, journey over to Netflix and treat yourself to a really dark show, but beautifully done with some of the best acting you'll ever see.
Bloodline is amazing. Joan's out of here too.
Good night, Joni. And I will see you in class this week as well. Will we? Will we see you? I'll probably see her on Tuesday night.
Ashley says, I'm on the wait list for Tuesday night, ready to hop back in.
Yeah, but you come say hi to us, honey.
Just
Please.
come and hang out like I do for 15 minutes and leave.
Please just come, let us hug and kiss you. And it's nice to see your face. Thank you, John. Appreciate
Wayne
that.
Lowry.
Yeah, that's the name of the character that
God, you were a
just say it.
jack wagon in that show.
Oh my gosh, you suppressed the urge to say dick. I watched your lips go.
Jack wagon.
Jack wagon.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, wow. January 6th. So Grant Cardone, I think you saw that interview I did with him. Where
yes,
on the
this
live
is where they release him into the wild and they give him $100 or something.
$100, a phone, and I think an old beat up truck or something. If it's like the first season, and it's Undercover Billionaire on Discovery Channel. So
on January 6th, nice.
That's going to be awesome.
I want to play that clip, but it keeps going in and out. So I'm wondering. I'm wondering what the deal is for under the stadium lights.
Oh, do you want me to?
Yeah, we look it up, and
is it on YouTube?
I don't think so. I don't know what the link was, but I'm going to press back on it from yesterday and see if it.
So
an error if it plays.
Says, "Good morning, gentlemen. It's after midnight here."
Okay, well, thank you, Robert. Good morning to you.
It's after
it's putting up an error 404, whatever that means.
Can you just? Is it a text message or an email?
Are you wanting me to send you that?
Yeah.
What was sent?
Yes.
It was sent as a text message.
Well, gentlemen, loved my first visit. Got to get my little guy to bed. Had a great visit. Gina, thank you.
Gina, where are you listening to us from? What part of the country?
What part of the world? It might not even be the country. It might be like in another.
I'm going to predict that it's the U.S.
It's probably, I'm going to go out on a limb and say U.S. The blonde hair. But I mean, that could be Eastern European.
Okay, I just texted it to you, brother.
Hungary.
Yeah. You remember the old, now there's one from our childhood when you could use 3 countries in one sentence. I'm hungry for some grease on my turkey.
She's in Raleigh,
North Carolina. Raleigh, so she's not that far from me.
Raleigh's right up the road from you.
Yeah.
It's not far, a couple hours.
Yeah, it's probably 3 hours, maybe. I don't know.
Atlanta?
Something like that.
All right, I received something here from you. Let me
see if you can interpret that, or is it going to give you an
error?
Yeah, I don't even know what that is. Well, Gina, thank you, sweetie, for joining us. And we come on at 8:00 Eastern tomorrow night with the voice of all voices, Scott McCain out of Las Vegas.
Yes.
And we have a mighty good time.
Hold on. Let me see if I can. What's it called? Under the Stadium Lights?
Under the Stadium Lights.
I'm looking through all of their projects to see if maybe, but no.
Oh, Saban Entertainment?
Giaro Nomo or whatever this is. I don't know.
Oh, Gianomo.
I don't see it.
Yeah.
I'm getting the page.
They'll put it back up. Maybe they just didn't want to tease it this early, but the film opens January 29th. It's an interesting film about the undefeated Abilene Eagles.
6. What's 6? 6 hours from Atlanta?
Oh, it's 6 hours by car.
Is it really 6 hours?
Yeah, I guess it's over on the eastern side of the state.
Look forward to another visit like mine's. Well, make sure you follow us. Follow whatever page you're watching this from. Give it a follow and turn on your live notifications for us and all that. Great having you here. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Gina.
And
we'll see you again. We get to know our people, by the way.
We really do. Ashley is
time for Ashley in New York.
Heading off to
Sending
bed.
all the love and energy to us both. Thank you, Ashley. We received that.
Thank
and
you.
we miss you, and we'll see you on Tuesday. You're going to have to get the link, so you can just text me, honey, and I'll make sure you have it.
Yeah.
Okay. Ken, what else is on your mind tonight?
I don't know, man. Man, we have everybody saying good night. Not everybody.
Perhaps our work is done for the evening.
Good night, Gina. Night, 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 JR. Good night, Ashley. Good night,
Good night,
John. Good night,
Right.
Ellen. Joe is out of
Good night,
here.
everyone. You know what? Let's just let everyone leave, and we'll just talk to each other.
Yeah. Say, man, why did all those people leave like that, Glenn?
Well, it was probably the remote line, the remote control prophylactic, something.
We still have a lot of folks on here.
A lot of people are still watching.
Joan,
You never know what'll set somebody off.
Joan Costello is leaving as well.
Well, good night, Joan. Do we know Joan?
Even Sandy.
Oh, she's watching the Marilyn Monroe story.
Wow.
She has an interesting birth, not a birth, but a burial site, which is
Who?
a little bit different. Marilyn Monroe.
Good night, Gracie.
That's funny. Yeah, she's buried right next to Hugh Hefner, or entombed in the mausoleum there. It's an outdoor mausoleum.
With Hugh Hefner?
Right next door, like adjacent to Hugh Hefner.
In LA?
In Los Angeles at Pierce Brothers, that cemetery that we've been touting and giving them free plugs.
Wait, Hugh Hefner's dead?
Yes. This has become depressing, Ken, if I'm here to inform you of all the people that have died.
Oh, hold
You're
it.
like,
when did Hugh die?
like 12 years ago, and you're like, Ed McMahon died?
Wait, no, Hugh. See, I don't watch that. See,
Okay, look up Hugh Hefner's death.
Alexa, when did Hugh Hefner die?
Because here's the deal, Ken.
She
If
just
he's-
said, stop listening to your friend Glenn. Hugh
Okay.
Hefner's alive and well.
Okay, so listen to this.
2017.
Yeah, so get this. If he's not dead, he is very much in that mausoleum against his will. I'm just saying.
That's so messed up, man.
Wait, can you imagine? Would you be for it if they put your ass in a wall? Would you be up for that? I wouldn't. I would be like, hey, you could wait a minute, you know?
Oh, that's like that funny Irish. Remember the Irishman that I gotta play it now. It's funny as hell. Jay Duran, we will definitely answer your question. Here, you answer that while I look for this.
If you could choose to be buried, where would you choose, Ken? And also, I am asking you, Glenn.
If you could,
Well, we have already made provisions for that, and I kind of like the idea of entering and exiting in the same place. So I entered in Dallas, Texas, and whenever I do go out, also Dallas, Texas, and it'll be in the same cemetery that my brother's remains are in. So, yeah. So my brother passed away a year and a half ago, and we have a lot of loved ones in that particular cemetery. So we, at some point, will have that be our burial sites. And there was a lot of thought that went into that, actually, because I've had several family members that were cremated, and I was even responsible for being front and center in the seeing that through, which a lot of people don't know that you can do, that you can be in attendance at a cremation. But I was
Wow.
for four people. So I was there for my father's, I was there for my grandmother's, I was there for Carolyn's father's, and I was there for my own brother's, which means that you are physically present when, in fact, you're the person. It was with my brother who actually started the conveyor that pushed him into it, and then closed it and pressed the button. And it felt very respectful. That's the word. It felt respectful because I was honoring his wishes, and that he had the person in the world who had his closest DNA be the one that honored those wishes, instead of some unknown cemetery employee, a funeral home employee. Not that there's anything wrong with that for other people to manage it, but there's something very personal about escorting your loved one's remains the entire distance to actually be present for them to their final moment. And I'm so glad that I did that. It wasn't easy, but it was right, and it felt important. And I found out about that from my dad, because my dad informed me that he had done it for his dad, and I thought, well, then you just earned us doing that for you. And that was a very powerful moment. So,
Wow.
yep. So what were you looking up, Bubba?
Well, I want to answer that too. Jay's
Priscilla.
question. I honestly don't care. Is that wrong?
No.
I really truly don't, because I know that this is just temporary anyway. So I don't.
You probably see it as just taking out the trash, right?
Like, yeah, just throw me in a wherever. I don't care. It's just
and that's not a reference to you being trash, because if you're trash, then I'm a trash worshiper, apparently. Right? Feel free to quote me on that, Ken. If Ken is trash, then I'm a trash worshiper. When Morshower,
I'm going to get cut that out, and I'm going to use that in all my advertising.
I'm going to put that on my video. That's my new business cards. What that is, I swear it is.
Oh, dude, that's so funny.
Jay the Weatherman.
So remember, I showed this before.
Hey, Mark Rodriguez. Yes, what are you showing?
Mark is here.
And my friend, did you hear me greet Priscilla Wise? Could you say hi to Priscilla, Ken?
Hi, Priscilla.
Priscilla is my dear friend from Nashville, who is currently in Gainesville, Florida. And we spoke shortly before we started tonight.
Was she the one? Was she going to come and meet us for lunch that day at the Loveless Cafe?
No, because she's in Florida right now. But she's my sweet writer friend that has been known to show up to my classes from time to time. She jumps in just to be in that world. Anyway, go ahead. What were you going to show us?
So I shared this before. You'll remember as soon as we start watching this.
Yes, this is so funny.
It's amazing. It's so funny. So I'm gonna play this. I'm not.
Again, if you don't have a sense of humor, you shouldn't watch this.
That's so true.
But if you do have a sense of humor, you'll find it highly entertaining.
Oh, it's hilarious. Here we go.
Hello? 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 Let me out! Where the fuck am I? Hello? Hello? Let me get the fucking bag in here. Where the fuck am I? Is that priest I can hear? The fuck? Let me out. Hello? Hello? Stop the mask. Stop, I can hear you. Hello? Hello? Please? Hello? Who's there? Hello? He's in shaming. I'm in the box. No, I'm fucking front of you. I'm dead. You gotta hear that. That's me. Hello again. Hello. I just called to say goodbye. I'm going to die. I'm afraid to say hello again. Hello.
There's someone with a sense of humor right there that wanted to leave the mourners with a smile on their face, remembering him with a sense of who it is he was. I mean, that's classic.
Yeah, that's amazing. So amazing. It makes me want to do something similar. Yeah, well, Olentangy River right here in Columbus, Ohio. Yeah. I personally don't. I really don't. Like I don't care.
Can you picture? I can picture the fish going, "Hey, do we get a say so in this?" Human beings sprinkling their loved ones into rivers. Hey.
Oh my god. That is
And
so
half of them are dumb enough to figure it's fish food. Yeah. It's like it's bone.
Oh my god.
Not good.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny, dude. Yeah, I mean, you got to have a sense of humor, man. And
humor will get you through a lot.
Oh, geez. Yeah. I mean, big time. And look, even the guy's dead. He planned that with his daughter. He knew that he was terminally ill and knew that he had I mean, we're all terminally ill. If we're,
well, we're terminal.
I
don't know if we're ill, but we're terminal.
Yeah.
Right? We're I mean, life is a terminal condition.
It is. The moment you're born, you're on your way to death. I've said it.
And that's our show. Hey, thanks for tuning in for another episode. There's no one who knows quite how to say goodnight like my buddy Ken. Well done, brother. Well done.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. Oh,
my goodness gracious. So I want to give credit to a woman I haven't spoken about on the air ever. My dear friend from many moons ago. We're talking about 30 plus years ago, my friend Greta Shipman. Right about that. About 30 years ago, she passed away. Very, very young lady passed away. And she knew that that she was on her way out. So she planned her own funeral and nailed the dismount, Ken. His toes were pointed and his arms were outstretched. You see that? It was just great. Even the Russian judges were like, "I progled idiot, простите, барышня, могу это сделать, я очень рад вас познакомиться, бода моя визитная карточка 10." But
what? Oh my god, that's
so Greta Shipman. I want to share this with you because it brought a smile to our faces. Greta wrote her own funeral, and it was in Phoenix, and we flew over to Phoenix for the funeral. And she said, "Well, I was reading the obituaries today," and she said, "I want to share with you what I'm seeing in front of me. Colleen Edwards, age 57, housewife. Maureen Davidson, age 71, housewife. Deneen Garcia, 82, clinical technician. Annie Adams, 43, housewife. And she listed off several names, and then she said, be careful, ladies, because it appears that the number one cause of death in the world is being a housewife.
Oh my God.
I thought it was hilarious. Oh, man. Everyone laughed their butts off.
Oh my
That
God.
the number one cause of death was being a housewife.
That's terrible.
It's funny.
That's terrible.
So well done, Greta. Well done,
How
sweetie.
long ago did she pass?
God, it's easily 25 to 30 years ago.
Wow.
It was a long time.
How did you learn to speak Russian?
I actually first started studying Russian when I did a movie. Oh God, I can't even remember the name of the movie.
Russian?
But I spoke Russian in the movie.
You did?
I did.
You had to learn Russian for the
This
movie?
is the same face that told you that I had waited on Michael Jackson, who showed up at my table with a beard.
Did you get the white glove treatment?
So I had to learn some Russian. There's only a couple of Russian phrases. I don't speak Russian like all the way through the movie. And then about 10 years ago, I got asked to star in a play called Hair of the Dog that I performed in Alaska. And of course, Alaska is suspiciously close to Russia. And so we had a tremendous number of Russians in the audience, and the play was written in Russian and English. And I had to do both.
You did a play in, you know what's
in Valdez, Alaska.
You know what I found? I was looking at the map. I love to look at the world map on.
And you and I have an obsession with math.
Google.
Maps. We do.
Google Maps is really so. And I happened to look at Alaska, and I was like, Alaska is a U.S. state, but it's north of Canada, eh?
Yes, it is.
I know.
Are you just learning that?
I mean, I knew that,
but it is a little mind-blowing that there's a country in between our country.
Huh?
It is weird that there's a country between our country.
It really is odd, don't you think?
We're going to go from the U.S. to Canada and continue traveling north in order to get back to the U.S.
So is it possible, is it not possible then to drive from, I don't think it is, from Washington into Alaska? You have to go through Canada to get to Alaska if you're going to drive there.
That's true, but it's not technically true. Because technically you could get on a ferry that takes you all the way to Alaska. And if you were a real weirdo, you could just sit in your car and pretend to be driving.
But I don't think they have.
No, there's no way to get to Alaska except via Canada if you're on the road. That's correct. And it's not only Canada, but Ken, it's a lot of Canada. Like
right.
There's a whole lot of Canada to drive through to get to Alaska.
Why did the U.S. go, you know, we should claim that as ours?
Oil.
Oil. Okay.
I mean, I'm guessing. They certainly weren't going up there for the cool temperatures. And
Jay, that is so funny. And Hugh Hefner is alive.
Yes, and Hugh Hefner is alive. These are two things that I've learned so far tonight.
You can take.
Oh, listen, hey Jay, let me look right at you, dude. It's always a learning experience here on the Ken and Glenn Show. Always. Nobody ever walks away from us empty-handed.
But dude, hold it. Ernest says you can take the Trans-Alaska. Okay, now I gotta look this shit up. Stuff. Sorry, pardon my language for the.
Yes. And then there's also a highway in Canada called the Trans-Canadian Highway, which is Highway 1, and it goes all the way from Vancouver, BC, all the way across the southern part of the country. It's a beautiful highway.
I am.
And I'm well traveled. I mean, I am grateful that I kept my commitment to making sure that I saw all 50 states by the time I was in my 50s. And I did do that. So I've been to all 50 states.
The Alaska Highway goes through Alberta and British Columbia into Alaska. I'm looking, or no. Yeah, no. What's YT? Here, should I share the map? Let me share the map.
YT stands for Yukon Territory.
And that's Canada.
Yes, it's one of the provinces.
Yeah, so here, let me share this. Let me just share the map.
I only know this because I lived in Canada for 3 years. So
Scott Ricard has driven.
drop a 1 if you've ever driven from Seattle to Anchorage.
Okay, so look. Oh my gosh.
See, look at this. Hey guys, we love you. Look at this. We're bestowing geographic information upon you tonight.
Creek. Weren't you in that show, Dawson Creek? Isn't there a show?
No, I avoided it like the plague.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Why?
It was too fruity for me. It was too youthful and fruity.
I thought that said Butthole Lake, but it's Bear Hole Lake. I was like, what? Kind of a Canadian's
I
name.
just wanted to say hi to you guys from Butthole Lake.
Like, hey, can you imagine Jay the weatherman doing the weather from
Oh my
Lake?
gosh. There was an incredible storm system. It was hovering right around Butthole Lake. It was crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Oh my God. So look, okay, so you cannot drive from Washington into Alaska. It's I mean, you
mean all the way through Canada to Alaska?
Right. No, you have to go through Canada to get to Alaska. Is my point.
Yes, it's huge. I said that.
What are there bridges connecting these little islands out here? Maybe?
No, most of those are accessible by ferry only.
Okay. So yeah, you cannot get there.
Yeah, see, the U.S. border doesn't start until
right in here.
Well, that's there, but then if you go to your right and down, that's the U.S.
All these little
right
islands.
there, all those little islands where it's green. That's all the United States. Now you're near Juneau.
Yeah, there's Juneau.
Right yeah, there you go.
Look at that. Would you look at that?
Yeah, one of the oldest jokes in one of the oldest jokes in the book, Ken, is, do you know the capital of Alaska? And people go Anchorage, and you go, do you know the capital of Alaska? And they go, they keep guessing other Alaska. Valdez.
Dude,
Juneau.
There's not a ferry that could hold enough fuel to get all the way to Alaska from Seattle.
Dude, they have the cruise ships that drive that all the time.
I thought that
it's Bear Hole Lack.
Oh, that is so funny.
Like Jay says, I spelled lake wrong. Oh God,
that's funny. No road access into it. What?
Yeah, it's all by boat and plane.
So okay,
there's Sherry Gideons. We haven't seen Sherry in a long time. Hi, Sherry.
Okay, so now
glad you're here. We're doing world geography right now, Sherry. We'll be back.
But like, look, dude. Okay, so this area right here, is that still?
That's Canada. That is British Columbia you're in right now.
Oh, right there. Yeah.
That's all BC. That's Vancouver Island down in the center of your screen. That big long island. Not that one. Not that one. Go down and to the right. That huge island right there, that long one, that's Vancouver Island.
Really?
And that is directly opposite. You'll see a city. Go down, widen it out. You'll see a city called Nanaimo. Keep going. Go bigger.
Zoom in.
No. Meaning go bigger. Go in.
Oh.
Zoom in. You'll see a city called Nanaimo. There it is. Down and to the right. Nanaimo. Down. Right there.
Yeah. I see it.
and Nanaimo is cool. And there is a ferry that goes across from Horseshoe Bay. That's the ferry line right there. You can see it drawn in.
So
And
there's no bridges to get over there?
No,
What?
that's a lot of ocean between. That's not a tiny little pathway.
Oh,
And then if you look at the southern tip of the island, that's where Victoria is, one of the most beautiful cities in British Columbia. Other way, to the right.
oh, you said southern, didn't you?
Southern tip, you'll see Victoria. There it is.
Now,
And
what?
that's where a lot of people will take ferries to and from Seattle from Victoria.
What's the red line going through the water there?
That would be the
Oh,
border.
That's the international border?
Yeah, that's the border.
I'll be darned.
And then you'll see like Bellingham, Washington, which is the midpoint between Vancouver and Seattle.
I have been.
See Bellingham right up there, north of the 5 freeway, go up.
Well, hang on. I have been to Port Townsend.
Mm-hmm.
I've taken the ferry when I lived in Seattle. I took the ferry out to. How did I get there?
Seattle's a beautiful city.
Oh, it is.
Our son went to college there in Redmond, Washington.
So much.
Which is directly east of Seattle.
The traffic is redonkulous. I mean,
in Seattle?
Oh, I mean, dude, they have the I-5 corridor. That's it.
Yeah. And they have floating bridges, Ken.
Dude, it's crazy out there.
In Seattle, they have floating bridges. I always thought that was cool.
Yeah.
But you know what they don't have? They have floating bridges, but they don't have Bo or Jeff Bridges, both of whom live in Los Angeles.
Right. Jay's leaving.
Well, good night, Jay. Thanks for your input tonight.
I really don't want to leave. However, there are extenuating circumstances, meaning Jenna wants to talk.
Well, of course, there's always inviting Jenna to the party.
There's
always that.
I have Jenna join us.
Hey, Jay, I have a thought for you, which is pull Jenna aside and say, look, it's clear that we need to talk, and I love you. Why don't we talk for about 12 minutes? And then I want to invite you to watch the Ken and Glenn show.
Yeah. And that's a great way to improve your relationship.
Oh, there's no doubt that that'll improve your relationship because you're setting boundaries, right? And you're being very clear on intention.
Right.
Isn't that right, Ken?
Dude, I mean, you've got to be.
Remember to wear one of these, though, Jay.
Put a condom on your remote, Jay.
I'm just saying. If you're going to use your remote tonight, make sure it has a condom on it.
If you're going to use it in the shower,
right?
It up. So he said she's sitting next.
Oh, cool.
Hey, Jenna. Well,
hey, Jenna.
Hello, Jenna.
By the way,
that's my niece's name, so your name is cool.
I have a friend of mine, Ken, that has been playing saxophone for years, and now when he travels, he wraps it in cellophane. And I asked him why. He said, I'm practicing safe sax.
Oh my God.
And that's what we do. Saturday nights with Ken and Glenn. Is there a topic we haven't covered yet tonight?
Hold on.
I think we're doing well at covering more topics than
dude,
we've ever covered in any singular episode. What's that?
We didn't explore Alaska. We were just looking at Vancouver.
So we were trying to honor Jay's departure.
Oh. Well, he's debating whether we explore Alaska or not.
We'll go back and re-explore Alaska. And I'm going to share Alaska stories with you.
We do.
I was paid to travel to Alaska to speak at the University of Alaska in Valdez, which is where the big oil spill was. You remember that?
Really?
Yeah.
I'm still mind blown that you literally cannot get to a state of the United States without either using the ocean or Canada.
Well, you can use the ocean.
I know. But then you're in international waters, so
right. All
bets are off.
Well, how do you feel about the inability to drive to Hawaii?
Oh yeah, that one's a given. It's not in any way connected to a land.
So your upset in the matter is the fact that there's a country between our country. Whereas between here and Hawaii, there's no country between us.
I mean, dude, I don't want to go as far as to say that it's an upset, but it's kind of a mind. I guess I didn't pay attention in that class.
In
So
geography?
So is this all of Alaska, right?
Well, we got to see it. Show it to us.
Is that it? Is that
I'm going to take you on a little Alaskan tour, and I don't even need the map to do it. Be sure to go to the southwestern side of the state where you will see what are called the Aleutian Islands, which extend almost to Russia.
Oh my God, they do.
Wait, can we see the map, please, dude?
Don't I have it up?
No, you're looking on your own. See, I did that. I gave you the Aleutian Islands without even looking at the map.
Wow. Stationed at Attic Naval Station. Base commander had more trees in his yard than the Attic National Forest. Wow. Robin wants to know if we're all moving to Alaska.
Robin, I'm pretty sure that move, the Grand Exodus, is scheduled soon, but we're gonna make sure Scott McCain's aware of it first.
So these are the Aleutian Islands.
Those are the Aleutian Islands. It's a lot like the Florida Keys.
And it does go all the way to Russia almost. And here, let me point out this. How would you like to have lived in Nome, Alaska in the middle of the Cold War?
Yes.
Like, hey, I can see I can see them.
Yeah, Russia's pretty close.
Right there. So, wow.
Most people don't realize how close the U.S. is to Russia.
It is really close. Dude.
Okay, and I'm going to give you a little another little U.S. Geography trivia. You ready? These are all out of the top of my head, and we'll take the tour across the country. But how about this? Who knows what is the only Canadian city that you travel south to reach from the U.S., from the continental U.S., the contiguous 48?
The only Canadian city.
There is a Canadian city that you, from what we call the lower 48, so I'm not counting Alaska, there is a city you travel from, and you travel south, not north, to get to Canada. I may have said Alaska, but Canada.
Well, if you're going from the UP in Michigan to Toronto, you'd have to travel south.
So the answer is, if you will look, it is directly across from Detroit, Michigan, and it is called Windsor, Ontario. So go in real close there, and you'll see that Canada dips up under. There it is. Go deeper. And there is Windsor right there under Detroit.
You know, I got to tell you something.
So you travel south from Detroit. There it is. There's Windsor.
So,
you travel south to get to Canada from the United States.
And there's that red line again. So let me tell you, can I tell you a little
And
story?
that's called the Ambassador Bridge right there. That one you're zeroed in on.
Yep. Can I
That's
tell
the
you
Ambassador Bridge
about this?
Yeah.
That's a tunnel.
We'll go down to where the bridge is.
Yeah, right in here. Yeah. So
does it say Ambassador Bridge? Can you go tighter?
Yeah, it does.
I can't see it. Yeah. There it is.
So
I've got pictures taken on that bridge.
I have a client that lives in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
And I said I had never been in downtown Detroit. And I said, let's get in there. Like, well, we'll take you to dinner. I was up there on an in-person visit, and we'll take you to dinner. So we go down, and we are literally having dinner right here on, I think, on West Fort Street.
You got to show us.
Like, we came right down.
We can't see the map, Ken.
Huh?
Screen share the map.
Sorry. It's amateur hour. So we came down somewhere in here, and we looked at, like, we had dinner right here, and the bridge was right there. I mean, it was like right in this area somewhere. I don't know exactly where, but it was.
I have to believe that somehow it was more picturesque than the map is.
It was way more picturesque.
That's better. Now we get some Google Maps. There's the Ambassador Bridge.
Yeah. So it was somewhere in here.
Do you know what the Rensen is?
The what?
The Rensen?
No.
That's their nickname for the Renaissance Center, which is to the right and up. It's in downtown Detroit. It's a big, beautiful building right on the river. Keep going, and there you'll see the Rensen.
Right here?
Yeah, the Renaissance Center is right there, that round building.
This one here?
That should be it.
That's
Yeah.
Civic Center.
Oh, it is?
Well,
Renaissance Center?
I don't know, but this is Civic Center Drive, so I'm assuming.
Well, keep going up. The rents, the building is maybe go up further to those buildings. The Renaissance Center is in downtown Detroit, so
Wow.
maybe that's the Rensen right
You know,
there.
Oh, look, Priscilla says her Canadian family is from a tiny town near Windsor. What's the name of it? We'll find it.
Maybe it is called Sarnia, Ontario, possibly, which is right up the road from Windsor.
There's Windsor.
Or possibly even London, Ontario.
Did she
If
say?
you go up that road to your right, you're going to wind up in London. Travel that main road to the right.
Oh, she says Ridgetown.
No, Ridgetown. Don't know where that is. And that should be Lake Ontario.
Where? That's Lake St. Clair to the
No,
north.
that's St. Clair in the middle, but the one up underneath.
That's Lake Erie.
Oh, that's Erie.
Yeah, because that's where my wife is from, is Erie.
That's where Cleveland is, yeah.
My wife is from, she was born in Cleveland, but raised in Erie, PA.
Go above Lake St. Clair and see if that's Lake Erie, Ontario. Right there, that big lake right there.
Lake Huron.
Oh, that's Huron?
Yeah, that's Huron.
And there's London. I mentioned London.
And
that's Michigan and Superior and all of that. It's an interesting part of the world.
But look at all of the bodies of water throughout Canada, man. It's crazy. Okay, so back to Alaska. You were in Alaska where?
Valdez, which is to the right of Anchorage. You got to zoom in more. So go to Anchorage.
Yeah.
And you're right near Valdez. If you go to the right and down, right in that area, you're going to have to go tighter until it pops up and says Valdez.
There it is. Wow, that's like right on the water too, huh?
Yeah, Valdez is where I went.
What's Alaska Marine Highway? What's that mean?
Don't know. Highway? But I was there speaking at the University of Alaska there, which was really an honor.
In Valdez.
In Valdez.
It doesn't look like there's much more than an airport there.
It's beautiful, though. Oh, my gosh, it's beautiful.
Would you look at that? Oh, look at the mountains.
Yeah, it's nothing but mountains all around it.
Dude, that's beautiful, man.
Yeah, Valdez, Alaska. I'm glad I made it there. And I drove, which is weird because most people just hop over. I drove from Anchorage.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's weird. It's because it's non-direct. You got to go up and around.
Hold it. You drove from Anchorage to Valdez?
To Valdez. And if you look at the road, it goes north, then east, then south.
I lost Anchorage.
You got to go out to find Anchorage.
Oh my God, it's clear over here, and you drove.
Look at the highway, and you'll be able to see the highway. It goes up north and goes all the way around.
Can't see it that way. And it's through a mountainous region.
It's a crazy drive.
Is it really?
Yeah, but it was beautiful.
Okay, so Anchorage is there.
And we had that ever-present sensation that, at any point we might not make it, which is an interesting way to drive.
So is this where, like, you went up here to this?
Yes. Highway? Yeah. Follow it up there. It goes up and all the way around.
You had to go clear up here?
And then down. to Valdez.
So you came all the way up here and came down through like here or something to
Through
get.
canyons down to Valdez. And then when we were done, we drove from there up to Fairbanks.
Well, where the heck is Fairbanks?
Now, ask me why I drove to Fairbanks.
Glenn, why did you drive to Fairbanks?
So that I could attend a movie for no reason and be able to say that I went to Fairbanks.
Oh my God.
Because I wanted to see what it was like to go into a movie theater at 10 p.m. and come out at midnight and have it be bright daylight.
Wow.
Because it was during the summer solstice. And that is weird when you go, dude, it's 12:15 at night. Only it wasn't night, it was daytime.
It's in Seattle, it gets a little like that at times where
Yeah.
it gets,
I think maybe we stayed into geography a little long and now we're down to 2 viewers or 3.
no,
We still have people that are into the geography of it all.
no, they're not really into it, I don't think. Anyway, hey, let's wrap it up.
Let's say goodnight. We love you guys.
Yeah. Love you all.
And hopefully there was some either emotional or spiritual or financial or geographical knowledge that you've now picked up.
I want to go drive through Alaska, dude.
Yeah. Well, it's there waiting.
Huh?
It's there waiting.
So if you fly from Ohio to
Anchorage,
Alaska, I mean, you don't even need a passport. You're not leaving the United States.
you should not need a passport for that. No. Unless it stops in Canada. But yeah, no, you could get a nonstop flight from Seattle to Fairbanks or Seattle to Anchorage, and you're not leaving the country.
Look, I just talked to the nurses, and Weldon is having a good evening too. Good. We're praying for him. So
yes, indeed, Susan. Yeah, have him when he's with it. Just put a laptop in front of him and let him know his buddies are thinking about him.
Yeah. All right. We love you guys.
Say good night, guys. Oh, Ken, there's something I didn't say that I want to say.
Yeah.
I am so grateful for the anniversary of this date. And of course, now it's almost 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
So it was on December the 5th. Of course, now it's December the 6th. But December the 5th, 19 years ago, 2001, my son and I were in what could have been a fatal crash. It was really, really ugly, but we're fine. And I'm so grateful for that because it could have been a night that changed everything for us. And it was on an icy mountain road in the Siskiyou Mountains between Oregon and California. And we were on a road trip from Los Angeles to Vancouver. And lost control of the vehicle doing a respectful 8 miles per hour. Excuse me, that is how fast I was going. And then all of a sudden, the mountain road took over and gravity did the rest. And by the time we had an impact, we were doing 53 miles per hour, and I hit the back end of an 18-wheeler that was parked. So
crazy.
We're grateful to be alive. And we got out of the car and knew that we needed to get away from the vehicle. And then another 18-wheeler came up our backside and hit my back end. But we were not in the car for that to happen. So thankful.
I'm thankful you're alive too.
Yep. Love you. And love you guys. Have a great weekend.
Love you.
We'll see you tomorrow night at 8 p.m.
Have a great night. Yeah. Go ahead. 8 p.m.
No, you do the plug.
8 p.m. tomorrow night, Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. The Ken and Glenn Show with a guy named Scott. Guys,
good night, everybody.
See you.